Hey Kong fam, stay tuned, see if I have a success or fail with this Sergeant Fury number 36. Alright, here's our next book. Sergeant Fury and his Howling Commandos number 36. So let's take a little bit closer look. Not bad. Got some spine ticks. And can't tell yet, but there's actually a little split in the cover down there at the bottom. We're going to have to be careful with that when we clean it. There's the staple. A little stress along there. We got a little chip missing. There's the top staple. And it's kind of dirty right there in the pricing area. And then there's some dirt along the side here. Maybe some shadowing, so not sure. All right. The cover's got really good gloss. Maybe a little dent right there. There's a little dent there. Okay, a little bit of a dent there. There's some dents. Now the back. There is that spine split. Really dirty. There's a big couple of dents right there. Really dirty along that edge. All right, the top we're going to have to be a little bit careful of. Let me show you. This top of this book suffers a lot from Marvel chipping. There's a piece that's barely holding on there. And what mainly causes that is the covers are a little bit bigger than the inside pages. You can see a lot of dirt right there along the side. You can see the overhang. There's a piece just barely holding on. We're going to have to be real careful along this edge. And then the front edge. You see a lot of chipping. You can see how that cover is overlapping the inside pages. I've seen a lot worse. This actually is fairly good for a book like this. So, but we're going to have to be really careful with it. The edges line up pretty well along the side. So I've just heated the book a little bit. Okay, I'm going to start with some very light cleaning. See how everything takes. Oh, look at that. Dirt came up right there just from the edge. So I'm just going very lightly. Yeah, a lot of dirt coming up. This cover probably once with the Immaculate. See the dirt. Alright, this back. Cat crawling underneath my feet. Gotta be really careful down here. think what I'm going to do is work this bottom lightly first, where this spine split is. Book's current condition, it's only worth about $10, which is kind of sad for these early Sergeant Peary's, but they're just not in demand. I'll let that kind of soak. Alright, this front, I don't want to do too much. I don't want to do any more MacuClean it. So we're going to get our distilled water, do our wipe down. Those greens are acting a little funny, so I just want to do a wipe down. Dirt coming up. Alright, so that's about all I'm going to do with that cover. I want to hit this area a little more. So we have another split in the spine here that I didn't see. So I want to be careful. A little chipping there. So be careful around there. You see the dirt though. Okay. I'm gonna let this dry, then we'll come back. Okay, we've let the back dry a little bit. We're gonna now do our distilled water. And sometimes you need to do that. You know, feel like the paper's getting too weak. Let it dry a little bit, come back. You know, you never need to get in a hurry on this stuff. It's like because of whatever it's pressing on there, rub the gloss off. So it may end up with something that looks like a tide line. We'll have to see. Oh, so fragile. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and start heating up the press. And you see whatever was pressing on it went all the way through the book. Man, looks like that split is a little bit worse than I thought. These older books can just be so fragile sometimes. Yeah, so that cover split was a little worse than I thought. Yeah, we've lost part of it. Oh well, that's part of learning here. I should have investigated that cover split a little bit more. But like I said, it was about a $10 book. And even, I'll be honest with you, even with the cleaning and stuff, probably it's, even with the split and stuff, we lost that piece too. It's probably still a $10 book. Alright, we're going to do the best we can here though. That's what it's about. It's about learning. You know, we don't start with the Hulk 181, right? Start with the Nick Fury. If you notice, I'm doing something a little different that I watched. We're just going to be working with these aluminum sheets mainly, not bothering with the backing boards. All right, so we will let that go for about 8 hours. You can see the dirt and stuff we took off. So I'm sure the appearance is going to be a lot better. You know, I hate that probably that spine was just barely holding on. A couple of flakes from that marble chipping. That spine was probably just barely holding on. I saw the split in the center. Then I saw the split at the end, and probably is just barely held on at the staple. And once we started wiping it down, it probably just came straight off the staple. So anyway, all right, we will check back in about 8 hours. All right, so here's our end result after pressing. We definitely cleaned it up quite a bit. Got all the marks and stuff we wanted to out of it. Yeah, you can see there used to be a mark there. That dimple is gone. Still got good gloss. So here is our few problems. We did end up with a bit of a tide line where those indentions are. Those indentions are completely gone, but where the paper had been compressed, apparently it wore some gloss or something off of it, which created these tide lines. These can be removed if you want to work with it. However, this book isn't really worth doing that to, and I'll give you a few, but the indentions are gone. Everything's a lot cleaner, whole lot cleaner along that edge. We had a lot of dirt and stuff, but here is where our big problems came out, is that spine split. Looking at this a little bit more, it seemed like that spine split was a bit more severe than I had thought. It went up a little higher than I thought, and it was barely holding on by a few pieces of paper there, and then barely holding on to the staple, and barely holding on at the bottom. Hey, Confam. So, yeah, that was a little bit disappointing with the outcome of this book, the spine split. Yeah, I guess the number one question is, did the wet cleaning process cause that, and would have a dry cleaning process prevented it? In my estimation of the cause of the spine split is, one, my under determination of the severity of that spine split. I should have perhaps, I knew the book was fragile with the amount of marble chipping that I saw. I should have opened the book and really investigated that spine a little more. I do feel that that spine split was kind of always there. It was just held on by a few little pieces of the cover in some places and at the staple, to where I noticed that there was a split at the bottom and then a split further up. But, you know, one, my fault. I should have investigated a little more. Okay, second, did wet cleaning actually cause this? I mean, of course, cleaning the book caused it. Would it not have happened with dry cleaning? I'd say there's an 80%, 60 to 80% chance it probably still would have happened even dry cleaning. I've dry cleaned hundreds of books prior to wet cleaning. And, you know, there is a certain amount of, just by nature of what you're doing to the book with dry cleaning. Hey, Freeway. With dry cleaning is there's friction and tension that is being produced on the book in order to pull up that the oils and dirt. So whether you did a magic eraser, a sorbine, or even your white tipped eraser, I feel like you probably would have incurred some damage. And again, you know, I think damage, saying that you caused damage to the book, the damage was already there. It was literally being held on by a few strips of paper that was already in a brittle state. Third is, if you had dry cleaned this book and then prior to pressing you would have humidified it, which would have caused moisture along those areas anyway. In the process of humidifying the book and transportation or handling, I'm pretty sure, like I said, this is where I'm getting kind of that 80%, that those small areas of paper would have given away anyhow. That's my estimation. Like I said, from me pressing, from dry cleaning, you know, over 100 books, and me now wet cleaning probably 30 to 40 books. That is my professional estimation. Now, did we kill the value of the book? Is a $10 book anyway. That is what I estimated the book out to be, was in about a VG to fine minus. We have cleaned it a lot more, which of course would bring the grade up, but we've of course increased that spine split, which brings the grade down. All right, so with that, I'm gonna say thank you for tuning in. If you've made it this far, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Always helps me out. Please leave your comments below about what you thought about this. And Freeway, how are you doing? All right, so with that, we're gonna say peace, love, and comics. Thank you all. Bye.